The sun rose like molten gold over the thick canopy of Glindewood, a forest so ancient its name had long since faded from most maps. Few dared enter. Fewer still returned unchanged. The trees, tall as cathedrals, dripped with dew that glowed faintly, like starlight trapped in droplets. The air smelled of moss and rain-soaked stone. Deep in a forgotten glen where wild orchids bloomed in chaotic clusters and mist coiled like silver serpents, Elia sat cross-legged on a rock carpeted in lichen. She was 19, with hair the colour of chestnut bark and skin kissed by sun and sap. Raised in the bustling city of Verdant, she had fled here, seeking not escape but meaning. The first notes of birdsong pierced the quiet, harmonizing with the rustle of leaves and the gurgle of a hidden stream. Here time stretched. It was not measured in minutes, but in petals unfurling, insects humming, and the slow, sacred exhale of the forest. Following the sounds of the brook, Elia came upon a stream that danced through the woods, crystalline and fast, its bed scattered with smooth moon-colored stones. Dragonflies with wings like stained glass flickered above the surface. Ferns leaned in as if listening. She dipped her hands into the water. It was cool, impossibly clean, and humming with something she could not name. When she cupped it to her lips, a sudden sensation of knowing burst in her chest. It wasn't painful but overwhelming. She staggered backward. The leaves shimmered, then clear as song she heard it. Find the heart, restore the breath, the forest dreams. Only the trees replied, their branches clinking softly together in the breeze like wind chimes made of bark. She climbed, instinct guiding her up a twisting sycamore whose limbs spiraled like braids toward the sky. Up and up until she emerged into the canopy itself, a domed cathedral of green and gold. Sunlight filtered through emerald leaves, painting the air in light. Birds nested here, riotous colors and strange songs. One, a violet creature with a curved beak, cocked its head at her. She asked, half laughing, "Are you a spirit?" The bird whistled 3 notes. A vine shifted nearby, revealing a platform of woven branches and moss, a canopy sanctuary, clearly not made by human hands. She lay there as the sun traversed the sky, and for the first time in weeks, her heartbeat slowed. She belonged. On her 4th day in Glindewood, Elia discovered a circular grove with tall stones marking the edges like guardians. It was silent here, eerily so, but when she spoke, the forest echoed back not her own voice, but something else. Elia, chosen. Elia, what am I chosen for? No answer. Just the rustle of leaves and a cool wind that seemed to pull her deeper into the forest. At the center of the grove grew a white tree, glowing faintly, its roots curling through the earth like veins. Its bark was inscribed with glyphs that pulsed with faint light. She touched it and dreamed. In the dream, Elia stood before a great woman formed of bark and blossoms, her eyes twin moons. Animals rested at her feet, and stars circled her head. I am the Wildmother. Long have I slept, and longer still has my heart been missing. Elia, what happened to it? Man happened. Greed, fire, forgetting. But a fragment remains, hidden. The dream faded, but the feeling remained, a fierce desire to restore, to awaken something beautiful and broken. When Elia awoke, her hand still rested on the tree, and a soft light had settled in her chest. A mark now curled along her wrist, like vines etched into her skin. Further in, where even the birds flew cautiously, lay a lake so still it mirrored the sky perfectly. Mountains loomed in its reflection, though no mountains were visible on the horizon. The water was an illusion, a gateway. Here, Elia met Thorn, a young man with eyes like carved amber and hair threaded with feathers and leaves. Thorn, you shouldn't be here. Elia, neither should you. Thorn, I was born here, you were called. Thorn told her of the Verdant Veil, a hidden realm within the forest where nature itself remembers and dreams. The lake marked the edge. Elia, why was I called? Thorn, because you listened. Thorn guided her down through a cave behind a waterfall, a hidden passage leading into the roots of Glindewood itself. They called it the Rootways, a network of glowing tunnels where the roots pulsed with light and sound. Here memory lived. Each root glowed with visions, battles, births, fires and healing. Elia touched one and saw a time when humans and spirits shared the forest in harmony. Elia, Why did we stop? Thorn, we forgot how to see. They travelled for hours, deeper, until they came to a chamber where the roots grew into a lattice, holding a stone heart-shaped and humming softly. Thorn, the heart of the wild. But it's dying. Elia, I don't understand. How can I help? Thorn! The forest chose you because your heart listens, but this pain, it's our doing. You must carry the burden to heal it. The vines wound up her arms, gently, painfully. She screamed, not from fear, but from feeling. Every cut tree, every scorched field, every forgotten song, it all coursed through her. Tears ran down her face, and the stone pulsed. Thorn, now you know. Now you can begin. Elia emerged from the rootways changed. The forest knew her now. Birds flew beside her. Flowers opened as she passed. The trees bowed subtly. She walked barefoot, and her footsteps made the earth sing. She visited the grove of echoes again and sang. Not words, but tones. The white tree bloomed in reply, its glyphs glowing brighter. The canopy sanctuary filled with wind-carried seeds and petals. The stream laughed louder. The lake shimmered with joy. She was becoming the Wildmother's vessel, not to command nature, but to steward it. On the seventh sunrise, Elia stood atop a cliff where the entire forest stretched below, endless green, mist-laced valleys, rivers glittering like veins of light. Thorn stood beside her. Elia, what now? Thorn, we breathe. They inhaled together. As they did, the wind changed. Across Glindewood, saplings unfurled, animals emerged from hiding. The cracked stone heart glowed from deep beneath the forest, and the Wildmother stirred in her slumber. The breath of the forest, a pulse slow and sacred, began to beat again. And from that moment forward, those who wandered into Glindewood spoke of strange beauty, of birds that watched them with knowing eyes, of trees that leaned closer to listen, and of a young woman with vine-marked skin who moved like sunlight through the green. The heart of the forest was no longer broken. It was beating,